Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Young again. It's Thursday, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And today I'm really excited to have a presenter with us from the UK. It's Dr. John Sheridan. And we've been talking for the last 15 minutes trying to figure out, of course, the technical challenges that we're having. We can't figure out why Dr. Sheridan is not allowed to share his screen with you. I don't know if there's a difference between Google Hangout here in the States and the UK. So this is going to be a bit interesting because we want to show you his website. So for us to do that, I'm going to introduce Dr. Sheridan to you, and he will speak about his history and then about businessorg.com, his passion. And because he can't share the screen with you, I'm going to share my screen with you. Of course, there's a technical challenge of every time I talk, you'll be seeing my screen. Every time he talks, you'll be seeing his screen. So bear with us, but at least you'll get to see some of his website. And of course, in the beginning, he'll introduce himself to you and tell you all about himself. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Sheridan. We have until 1:30. It's now not quite 5 minutes after 1 here in the US. I know I think you're 5 or 6 hours ahead of us, so it's evening your time. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited about this. This is going to be a little bit different than what we normally have. So you take it away.
Hi, Kat. Thank you very much indeed. It's a great pleasure for me to have this opportunity to contribute to your weekly webinars. I haven't seen them all, but I've seen quite a few of them. I tend to record them because we're 5 hours ahead of you. So yes, it's 6 o'clock in the evening here in the UK. So warm welcome to sunny Sussex, but it's not very sunny in Sussex just at the moment. It's cold, wet, autumny weather. My name is John Sheridan. I'm a vet. I graduated as a vet in the Royal Veterinary College in London in 1960. So I've been a member of this great profession of ours for a long time. I practiced as a clinician for the first 25 years in my career. I built a small chain of franchised small animal companion practices along the south coast in the UK. And then in 1985 or thereabouts, I've become more and more interested in the business side of practice. I used to come over to the United States once or twice a year to attend AHA conferences and your VHMA conferences, and learned what I could learn about practice management, came back to the UK and preached it and talked about it, and set up a management consulting organization in the UK called Anicare Group Services. So for many years then I spent providing a full-time management consultancy service to the profession in the UK. One of the things that I did when I came over to the United States was, well, two things, I suppose. One was I attended the joint AHA Purdue course. And if any of you have an opportunity to do that, I'd strongly recommend that you do it. It was the AVI course, and I made lots and lots of friends in the United States at that time and learned a great deal. The other thing I did was to attend some VHMA meetings. I gained my CVPM in the United States and came back to the UK. And in 1993 or thereabouts, we set up or launched the VPMA. That's the Veterinary Practice Management Association here in the United Kingdom. And it was modeled very much on the VHMA pattern in the United States. And then in the late 1990s, at that time, our regulatory body, this is the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons in the UK, insisted that nobody could own a veterinary practice who wasn't a veterinary surgeon, who wasn't a member of the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons. But because I was doing a lot of practice valuations at that time, I knew that there was quite a lot of practices that were, in fact, owned jointly by a veterinary surgeon, a veterinarian, John Smith, say, who was married to Mrs. Smith, who wasn't a veterinarian. And so the accounts that I was looking at, the financial accounts I was looking at, made it clear that, in fact, the practice was jointly owned between a veterinarian and a non-veterinarian. Anyway, to cut a long story short, the Royal College at that time in 1997 or thereabouts changed the rules so that anybody could own a veterinary practice. They could set up the premises, they could own the practice, they could employ the staff, as long as nothing interfered in the ethical relationship between the veterinarian and his or her client and the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons. So now we have a situation where anybody could own a practice, anybody could employ the staff, buy the equipment, lease the premises, set up in business, and employ veterinarians and veterinary nurses, or we have veterinary nurses, you have vet technicians, to run a practice that way. So I, with a colleague from the United States and some colleagues from the UK, we went about raising venture capital here in the UK, and in 1997, we launched the first of the veterinary corporate organizations, a company, practice name as Veterinary Practice Initiatives here in the UK. So I switched from being a self-employed management consultant to the chief veterinary officer of Veterinary Practice Initiatives, and functioned until I retired from the corporate team in 2003. And then I went back to being a self-employed consultant. I work on a part-time basis here in the UK. I run a membership website called veterinarybusiness.org for everybody and anybody around the world, English-speaking world, who has an interest in the business of veterinary practice. And I'm fortunate. I write a bit, and I speak quite a lot. I've been over to the States this year. I spoke to an audience in Dallas. I spoke this year to the France Vet in Paris, in France. I'm speaking at the London Vet Show in a couple of weeks' time, and I'm going to Hungary to speak at in Budapest to a conference set up by Alphabet to I think about between 500 and 800 veterinarians. So I'm looking forward to that very much. So in my old age, it keeps my brain agile, it keeps the old grey cells going. Now, would it be helpful if I were to show you some of the resources on veterinarybusiness.org? Because some of the resources are available to members who sign up and pay a subscription, but quite a lot of the resources are available, quite freely available, to anybody who wishes to make use of them.
Absolutely. And I can hear you now. And I will share my screen in a second, but Mike also said that it would be might be an idea for the attendees to open your website in their own browser window. And so I put your website address up there for everybody to see in the chat box. It's veterinarybusiness.org. And let me share my screen, and hopefully this will work for everybody. And I'll be quiet. I'll just have you, Dr. Sheridan, tell me what you want me to click on.
Okay.
But, oh, well, actually, let's see if I'm really quiet. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see my screen. We'll figure this out. Let me share, and let me know as soon as you can see your website.
Yes, I can see my website now.
Okay, excellent.
If you scroll down on the homepage, so you see the video show there. Now that's, if you like to click on that,
Okay. You want me to click on this?
Yeah, click on that and play.
Okay. There we go.
Good. And now I produced every 2 weeks I produce a new episode of the Veterinary Business video show. It's really a magazine type video. Each fortnight, each 2 weeks, there are 4 or 5 items. I introduce some items. We have video clips from consultants, from veterinarians, from speakers who talk about management issues unrelated to the veterinary profession. And so the current episode is freely available for anybody who wants to look at it. And then underneath that, there are you can click on all of those clips. There are various episodes of the video show, blog items, lots of articles, and so on. So if we take back up on this above on there.
Okay, just a second. So because I think that I have to speak for people to actually see this on their screen. So here is the video. How often did you say this gets updated?
It's updated every 2 weeks. We have a new episode. So I'm currently on episode 150. I think it's 152 on the screen now. Okay,
excellent. So then underneath those are other videos, previous videos, and also blog, correct?
Blogs and news and views, yes. So
okay, excellent. Yep. So let me go back up to the top to the menu. Did I lose you?
Are you going back up now?
Yep, I'm back up. Can you see it? I know there's a lag time.
Oh, there's a lag time. No, I can't see it yet.
Okay, so I've actually.
If you click on, hang on, let me just have a look. Okay, so if you click on news.
On news, okay, yeah.
Okay.
There's a drop-down menu that drops down. It says news and views 2015, 2014, and back.
So if you were to look on news 2015,
yes,
then click, for example, on practice management news and views from around the world, October 2015.
Gotcha.
All of those are freely available, so that there is usually a video and 3 or 4 articles, and we have a new one of those every month.
Okay, excellent.
And they're freely available to anybody who's interested in looking at them.
Perfect. So right now I clicked on it. I don't know if you can see it already, but it says Practice Management News and Views from Around the World, October 2015. Excellent.
I'm still trying to click on screen share, but it doesn't seem to be working for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't let you do that. All of the other icons were working fine. But hopefully people have gone to your website, and if they can't see my screen, then they would actually be on their own web browser right now looking at your veterinarybusiness.org website.
Okay. Then if they were to look on video, the menu item video, you'll see a list of all the video shows right back from the beginning. But the archived videos are only available to signed up members. So if you were to click on those, then you would get a little note which says, oops, you have to be a member, so and we'll invite you to sign up.
Okay, are all of your videos archived?
All of the archived videos are available only to signed up members. The current video on the homepage is available to anybody freely at any time.
Gotcha. Excellent. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Now, if I just talk you through some of these others, there's a menu item called webcasts.
Yep.
And on webcasts, we have quite a lot of webcasts. You'll see how to be a veterinary practice superhero. There are 5 videos there. Those video clips really are designed for veterinarians, recently graduated veterinarians, trying to make their way in practice, full of tips and ideas for how to make life easier in practice, how to earn what they feel that they're entitled to earn. And then there are various webcasts, the reception role, making sure the price is right, much more than keeping the score. They're really webcasts about practice management issues, budgeting, negotiating with staff, your practice, your career, and your life, how to maximize practice, goodwill, values, and so on. But those are all available to sign up members.
Okay.
Then on tools, there are a whole lot of business tools there. I'm looking down at my own. For example, there's 100 consultations review tool, key performance generator, 7 steps to a higher recheck rate. Pop Goes the Weasel. Pop Goes the Weasel is an interesting tool. It's designed as a tool to help practice managers and practice owners involve their staff colleagues in beginning to understand the commercial realities of running a veterinary practice. We got job descriptions, market research, surveys, and so on. And all of those are available to sign up members. So I could demonstrate them to you, but you won't be able to see. That's the problem.
Right. I'm so sorry that we can't get you to share your screen.
If you look at the benchmark, if you click on the benchmark, because this is a freely available service.
Oh, on the benchmark. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Now,
just a second. Okay.
Yes. That I do. This is an international online benchmark service. It's freely available to anybody, and you'll see there it asks the question, how does your practice compare? One of the problems I have is that here in the UK, we are very short on real, up-to-date, valid benchmarking data about what's happening in practice, specifically as far as practice profitability is concerned. People seem to think that understanding the economics of running a veterinary practice is desperately complicated. And fundamentally, is all of your members are practice managers, are they, Heike, or are they?
No, some of them are practice owners.
And other employees in practice?
Yes, so it's open, and mainly the attendees that we attract are practice owners or practice managers. There might be some veterinary technicians, but not a lot. Most of them are practice owners, practice managers, and veterinary service providers.
Understand. Okay. So one of the problems we have here in the UK, sorry, I've lost the screen, now I'm back again, is that we're short on real numbers. You had, in the States, you have, or had, NCVEI, and when I used to come over to the States, I also belonged for a while to Vet Partners. Are you aware of an organization called Vet Partners?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Which is really an excellent organization, great people, mixture of consultants, accountants, lawyers, suppliers of a wide range of services. And so I learned a great deal about some of the benchmarking data from the United States from them. But now through this international online benchmark service, I'm beginning to collect data. I've got quite a lot from the United States, quite a lot from the UK, and we're discovering that the problems that we face in the UK and that you face in the United States are very similar to those around the world. I mean, they're the same in Australia and New Zealand and South Africa. I've got quite a lot of data from South African practices. I've visited South Africa a year or two back. And we're discovering that the real level of profit, if practices pay realistic remuneration, remuneration isn't a word you use compensation. Mm-hmm. If practices pay realistic levels of compensation to their owners in their clinical and their management or leadership role, then the level of real profit which is being generated by practices is, in the majority of cases, modest, at least somewhere between 5 and 7.5% of turnover. Turnover is an English term. You use the word of revenue. 5 to 7.5% of total revenue. There are some practices, as there are in your country and mine, who are doing exceedingly well with profit margins up 18%, up to 25 or more percent. But we similarly get lots of practices that are making losses, that are losing money on that basis. So the International Benchmark Service is designed to be able to enable us to compare practice performances throughout the English-speaking world. There is the form. It's a very simple form. We don't.
Oh, I lost you.
Can you see that?
I lost your audio there for a second. You said it's a simple form. Did you want me to scroll down?
Yes. Can you scroll down and see the form outlined in blue?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a very simple form. Some of the information you will find in your financial accounts, some from your own knowledge of the practice, and then submit it. And what happens is that within 2 or 3 days, I will get back to you with any specific questions that may arise. But I'll get back to you with a report which will compare your practice performance with all the other participating practices. And fundamentally, the report will include these figures at the top of the page. So you will see, you will have a transaction volume index, the cost of drugs and supplies, the cost of all your people, and the establishment and overhead costs as a percentage of income, and a profit as a percentage of revenue, with a practice score for your practice. And the practice score is based on the scoring protocol established by the NCVEI, National Commission on Veterinary Economic Indicators, in the United States. Okay?
Okay. So, so this is a free report that you send back to whoever fills this out. And then when the score comes back and it says, for instance, below average,
yep,
can they sign up then with you as a consultant to see where their shortcomings are and what they can do to improve that score? Is that something that you would offer then?
Certainly, that's something that I can offer, although I work really on a part-time basis now, so that I'm not providing a full consultancy like I used to. On the other hand, I do have some practices in your country and here in the UK and in South Africa where I act as a consultant on a distance basis. So we do it by email and we do it through Skype, but certainly I'm happy to offer advice in any way I can. But fundamentally, the report will indicate where the issues arise. And with the report, you'll get a short summary of what the significance of the findings are and how to approach getting things back on track.
Excellent.
What else? We have a directory, we have products, I do a blog which is free, but most of the other resources are designed for fee-paying members. I'd be delighted to welcome any of your members. It's just a question of signing up. If you go back to the home page,
yep,
and join us now, the fee subscription, or 6 monthly or monthly or annually, and I offer my
So the subscription fees are in pounds. How does that convert into?
So currently, for example, the monthly charge is £8.95, and currently I think we get about $1.55 to the pound. So it would be a monthly charge of about $12 or $15, something of that sort of order. But you'd have my money back guarantee that if anybody ever joins and then they feel that their subscription didn't represent value for money, then I would very happily repay their subscription. So that's not really a problem.
Excellent.
But I would certainly be happy to invite your subscribers, your members, to have a look at some of the free resources, and then come back to me if I can be of any assistance at any time. You'll see at on the bottom of my screen there's a thing that pop up which says "Let's talk." Just leave your details, send me an email, and I'd be very happy to help in any way I possibly can.
Excellent. Well, let me stop sharing my screen here for a second. I don't know if that was more confusing for everybody or if it was helpful. But this information was fantastic, Dr. Sheridan. Absolutely. And I will look at the recording and make sure that it's something that I can repost. If not, we'll have to have you back on here and try to figure out the whole screen sharing aspect of difficulty on your end. But I think people know about your website. It's veterinarybusiness.org. They can go there, they can see what's free and what is a payable service, and just the fact that you have your money back guarantee there, and also all of your history and your background was just fascinating. So thank you very much for sharing that. And yeah, if people have any questions, they can contact you through your website, or I can be the link also. I know everybody has my email address, and hopefully we can do this again. I'm thinking either towards the end of the year or the beginning of next year. And in the meantime, try to figure out why your share screen button isn't working in England.
If we can resolve that, then I'd be very happy to go through some of the tools, because I think there are quite a lot of business tools that we can demonstrate online, on screen, that your members, your subscribers would find valuable to play around with. I mean, they're real simple. There's nothing desperately complicated. Practice management, I know, because I work with lots and lots of practice managers, and I know what a huge difference that they can make to the success of a practice. And one of the biggest issues, I think, is the working relationship between the practice leader and the manager. That relationship is key, and I'm sure I can offer some advice about that too, if that would be of assistance to your members.
Absolutely. Well, actually, I might call on you for that. So yes, absolutely. I think we'll have another webinar with you on it, and we'll try to figure out the screen sharing process and figure that out. But for today, thank you so much. It's 1:30 and we're out of time. And I just want to really, really thank you so much for being on here and explaining your website and sharing your background and offering all of these wonderful opportunities for the members. And we'll be in touch.
Many thanks. Every best wish to you and all of your colleagues.
Thank you very much. To you too, Dr. Sheridan.
Fine. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.